Good January 2nd to everybody. Happy New Year to all. Wishing everybody a happy and healthy 2024. This is the NSSA Social Security Open Forum, first one of 2024. I'm your co-host, Mark Kiner, in my purple shirt, joined by my partner, Jim Blair, in his blue shirt. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
And of course, Happy New Year to you. What did you do on New Year's Eve?
I went down to the local casino and donated some money.
Very good. Don't forget your write-off on Schedule A. Don't forget to let your CPA know that.
That's right.
Okay, very good. So everybody, welcome to this edition of Social Security Open Forum. We don't have a lot of attendees today. I wasn't sure what to expect on the second day of January 2024, but we'll go with the flow.
This file cabinet right here.
So as in the past, if you want to jump up to the front of the line, please raise your hand and we will get to you. In the meantime, before I start going around the Hollywood Squares type of things, Zoom Squares, I'd like to talk to Jim about that valuable restricted application. Thought I'd mention it the first thing today. Jim, what are your thoughts about that now?
It's a done deal. The only potential restricted application would be retroactive benefits at this point. Now that we're in January, I guess it would be 5 months of retroactivity available. You could apply for the restricted application to begin in 12, 11, 10, 9, 8 in July. As soon as that's processed, they pay you July up to the current point. Then you'd have to turn around and file a new application effective December for folks that turn 70 in December, which includes folks born 1/1 of 54.
So, even though in theory it's kind of gone. However, though, if you're meeting with a client now and they're 70 in a month of age or whatever, you can still go back and get some lump sum checks. Not sure if it's worth it, but something you can consider. Jim, I made a prediction early on, probably the last 3 to 4 months of the year, saying that during the last week of December 2023, we would see 2 clients that can file that restricted app. Jim, was I right or wrong?
You missed it by 2.
Okay.
Because we had none.
So, Jim, you can probably say the last time you met with somebody who was able to file a restricted application was probably early 2023 or maybe even in 2024
Yeah, it was definitely last year
22,
or
I
the year
meant.
before. Yeah,
You got it.
Early 23 at the latest.
Has anybody on this Zoom today, have you met with anybody who could have filed a restricted app over the last couple of months or so? Raise your hand, or maybe you did. Okay, well, I'm going to go around the room then. Let's go to Lynn first. Welcome, Lynn, to January 2nd, Social Security Open Forum. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning. Any questions?
No, I just took your class last week, so I'm previewing and reviewing everything for the test. I take it on Friday at 4:30 in the morning.
Good for you. I'd be sleeping at 4:30 in the morning. Thank you, Len. Appreciate you being here. All right, let's go to Sue. Sue, I don't see your picture at all, so I'm not sure if you're here or not.
Yes, I'm here. Wicked head code, but I'm here in 2024. Hey, as I wake up every morning, I hear on the TV, the news, democracy under threat. So how about you two giving us a view of Social Security under threat?
Well, we've talked about that pretty much we kind of talk all the time. It's really not under threat. It's not going bankrupt. Money will always be coming in. Over $1 trillion in taxes come in each year. So that money would be paid out. But we all know that by the early 2030s, that trust fund will be gone. And if Congress makes no changes at all, people receiving a benefit will see their benefits reduced by 20% or so. I'm one of those people, Jim, and so is Jim. We do expect changes down the road, but Social Security is not going away. And if it does go away, we have more problems with our government than just Social Security. Jim, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, the nice thing about getting a real small check is that a 20% cut isn't as big of a cut as it is for other people who could get a bigger check. So, hey, yay for windfall. Uh, it's going to be there in one form or another. Worst case scenario, people will receive about 20% less. You know, the news and TV is always about gloom and doom. They're trying to keep you watching. And there's some valid points out there. I'm not dismissing all of it, but as far as Social Security is concerned, I think we're in good shape overall. They will eventually pass what they need to pass. It doesn't need that big of a tweak. Probably raising the full retirement age and the amount we pay the earnings you pay Social Security tax on, they're probably going to change. Other than that, I think that any other changes, it just be whatever particular Congress folks are looking for their constituents. But I'm confident the changes will be made. I mean, they're not going to get reelected if they give everybody a 20% pay cut. So they won't let that happen.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but you know, the U.S. policies a lot in Congress seems always to be three words: kick the can, which basically is an insight that they never want to do anything because they want a system to fail or whatever reason it is. Who knows? Who cares? So, but what would give them a right if people are grandfathered or grandmothered in their Social Security, go and just slash it 20% when there's over $1 trillion coming in?
Yeah, what right do they have? Well, they pass a law and then people take it to court and we'll see what the courts say. But you know, that's the way the current law sits.
But
And that
let
they do
me
need to change it.
let me add though, you can only pay out money that comes in. So if $1 trillion comes in, that's about enough money to pay maybe 80% of benefits. So that's kind of what it is.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Susan. Hi, Susan.
Good morning. Happy New Year to everyone.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Same to all too.
So I have two questions. One is kind of making sure I am getting this correct for the, attained age versus your actual age in a month. So the attained age, if I understand correctly, is what is required for starting benefits before your full retirement age?
No, starting benefits basically at age 62. You have to have attained age 62 for the entire month.
Right. But
Okay.
then that continues until let's just call it your full retirement age is age 67. So in the month that you turn 67, is it still looking at your attained age so that we might be looking at a 1 month delay, or is it just in that month you turned 60?
We're always looking at attained age.
Always.
Always. However, though, the 1 month rule only applies at age 62. I attained age 62, let's just say February 12th. And I did, because I turned age 62 February 13th. 4 years later, I turned age 64 in the middle of February. But I could apply for benefits to begin 4 years later at that actual age, 64. I don't have to wait another month to get my age 64 benefit or whatever. So that age 62, having attained age 62 at least for a whole month only applies at age 62 and no other ages.
Okay. That's what I needed clarification.
Well, and once
except
we get
what Jim
past-
has to say.
yeah, once we get past 62, it still is effective for people born on the 1st because they attain the day before. That means that they reach age 65 on the month before their actual birthday. So if you were born June the 1st, you attained age 65 May 31st. Medicare is effective May instead of June. The other would be when you reach age 70. Well, it's full retirement age as well. If you were born on the first, your full retirement age is a month before. And then if you're going to start benefits at age 70, they would actually, just like people born 1/1 of 54, they attained age 70 in December. So, and then once we get past that, it really doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I really wasn't gonna go there. People born on the first of the month, but Jim did. Let's go with it.
Okay, and then my second question is, I have the 2023 Social Security Medicare Facts book, which I
Mhm.
got after the examination. And I know you want to sell books, but
Well,
what other than the examples
Sure.
would be different that I
Well-
would buy the 2024
well,
book?
Well, let me say, Susan, it's not like I know exactly what's in the book. I really don't. It's not like I read it cover to cover. The only thing I can say is, the 2024 stuff is gone. I know is in there. 2023 COLA adjusted figures are gone, and they're being replaced by 2024. And of course, the restricted application is gone. You don't need to buy the book every year. I would never say that you'd need to. They want to sell you the book every year. We
Right.
don't really care. But no, there's really not many changes from year to year. I would think if you buy the book every 2 to 3 years, that's probably fine. I'm just hoping that National Underwriter Company doesn't get a copy of this Zoom that we're doing today, because they may not like that. But there aren't major changes from year to year, so you don't really need to buy it every year.
I appreciate your honest answer.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else, Susan?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank
Thank
you. Let's go to Rudy. Hello, Rudy.
Good morning, Happy New Year, Mark,
Thanks.
Jim, everyone.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
Happy New Year.
No, I'm willing to go ahead and learn. I'm trying to go ahead and see if I can find more Spanish individuals here because there's a lack of education in our community. I'm trying to make sure that I'm a powerful resource that I can help my community. I have some good connections, so glad to go ahead and start the year in a positive note. And definitely Social Security is something that they're not really aware of. We all are not aware of that, but thank you very much. I appreciate your guidance and continue to learn from both your wisdom, Jim and Mark.
Thank you, Rudy. It's more like Jim's wisdom, but I appreciate you mentioning me too. Let's go to Christopher. Hi, Christopher.
Yes, sir. Mark, Jim, Happy New Year. Thank you guys. Yeah, it was I want to thank both of you. I sent you guys an email question. You answered it where you guys confirmed that it seemed like a lady was getting a runaround at the Social Security office after several attempts. So we're going to take that advice and appeal to a supervisor management. So I appreciate that. My question, I think, is more from, making sure I stay, because these rules are complex and voluminous. How does, I know I'm coming up into my second year. How does continuing ed and staying up to speed? I know I love these calls because I learn so much by other advisors' calls and questions and saying, oh yeah, there's a mental note. But how do I plug into, I was not able to make one of my associates assistants, she just took the course NSSA, the 1 day drink from the fire hydrant. She called me up. She's like, oh my God.
Who
Right?
was it?
It's Kate who just joined us.
Oh,
So-
hi, Kate. Sorry about the fire hose.
She was like, oh my God.
Folks, I get that all the time. Believe me, advisors do say it's like drinking from a firehouse. And believe me, folks, it is. I've been working with Jim now. I guess this is year 14, Jim, January 2010. And when Jim and I got together, believe me, everyone, I knew nothing about Social Security. We would do a public webinar, and Jim would do all the speaking. And people would come up to me afterwards and ask me questions. I couldn't answer their questions. It takes a lot of patience. It does take time to learn Social Security. Read books, get some Social Security primer books and read them. You'll learn that way also. Google Google alerts on Social Security. You'll get lots of articles that way also. Attend all of our update webinars, all of our Social Security open forums. But believe me, folks, it doesn't happen overnight. Yeah. When we first started teaching our class in May of 2013, it was a 2-day class. Jim took the content from the Social Security training manual. We made it 2 days. I could not teach it. So I told Jim, we need to dumb this down. And we dumbed it down to the level that I could actually teach the class and understand what's going on. But believe me, it is like drinking from a fire hose. And that's why we do offer the 2-day class also. And we also offer the on-demand videos so people can go through it at their own leisure.
And that's why I love the response of, I'll give, I'll throw this out there. My first book or introduction to Social Security was probably 20 years ago when my mom was in retirement, and I got my first book, Social Security for Dummies.
Yep.
That's what I had to read.
Mhm.
And it was confusing then, and here it is, 20 years later, and it's still confusing, but at least I feel like I've learned the response. That's a great question. Let me see if I can get you an answer, and I'll get back to you. And I have some idea, but I never want to come. I always train like I'm a white belt, right? So when I do classes on Social Security, whatever, I was just on the phone with the CPA the other day, and I said, yeah, he had some complex Social Security questions that through your efforts we were able to get him answers, and he said, yeah, I've been to a couple of these Social Security workshops and they're so rudimentary. And I have to agree that a lot of them are very high level. And you don't need to get into the weeds, but you also, the coin phrase that I've sort of adopted is Social Security claiming decisions should not be made in a vacuum. You really need, everybody's circumstances are different. You can't listen to water cooler advice. And there is no dumb question. So, and don't always trust the answers you're getting from the Social Security office. It's okay that, they're not typically allowed to give specific information, when it comes to claiming. But if it seems incorrect or you're getting multiple answers, you might want to double check that, like Jim had suggested, go to a manager. So thanks for all your efforts, guys, and you'll be seeing a lot more of me and some of our advisors. And great job, Kate.
Well, and for folks even that have been in this for a while, that's why we try to be a resource for you. The main thing is you've heard it before, and so it's not brand new, and you know where to go to get the answers. Sometimes we have to go somewhere else to get answers too, but it's a good resource for you guys because you're going to get questions, and you don't want to just tell people, well, I don't know, call Social Security. So hopefully, I was horribly responsive to questions here lately because I moved, and it wasn't well. I'm still moving actually, but I almost had my office set up. So hopefully, 2024 will start off much better than 2023 ended.
Okay. Sorry, folks. Okay. Thank you, Christopher. Let's go to Eli. Hi, Eli. You're on mute.
I know, sorry about that. It took me a minute. So happy New Year, everyone. I don't have any questions, just excited to make it to another year. So
Yeah, so
thank
am
you
I.
guys. I appreciate it. Just wanted to give a shout out to you guys. I've sent a couple questions out. You guys have been good at responding, so thanks.
Appreciate it.
Getting a lot of complicated windfall and government pension offset questions, which I'm familiar with, but still sometimes there's some new stuff I haven't seen and was kind of surprising. So thanks, Jim, for the emails. Appreciate it.
Hey, folks, want to let you know, I received an email. Let me see about weapon GPO. Here we go. The guy's name is Dan Ryan, RYAN, Illinois Public Pension Fund Association. It's titled Website for Public Employees and Social Security. Let me go ahead and share this. Can you see this? I don't think you can see this. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Okay, let me find a way.
Just scribble it on your forehead, then we can read it.
wait a second. I don't even see. Here we go. I'll get there, folks. Don't worry. Share. Here we go. Share button. Here we go. Okay, can you see it? Yeah, you can. So I'll just read this
there we
to
go.
you. I'll just read it to you. For public employees who do not participate in Social Security, a new website, new in red, burgundy, provides information on the two key federal rules that impact workers who earn pensions from work outside of Social Security, WEP and GPL. They have the wrong name for GPO. It's really Grumpy Partner Offset, but I guess he hasn't heard that yet. Nationwide, that group includes most public employees in Alaska, Nevada, Colorado, Louisiana, Maine, Ohio, and Massachusetts. Additionally, many public school teachers are excluded from Social Security in Texas, Georgia, Missouri, Illinois, California, Kentucky, so forth and so on. Also, police and fire professionals are excluded in several states. The site includes an overview of the impact of public pensions on Social Security benefits, a discussion of commonplace rumors, links to government publications, and suggestions on how to obtain more info. Can be accessed at governmentpensionoffset.com. Website was developed by Daniel Ryan, a staff member at the Illinois Public Pension Fund Association. Don't know who they are. And an author on the subject of Social Security and government pensions. Author does not sell any financial product or service. And in quotes, it is extremely important for affected public employees and retirees nationwide to understand Social Security components of their retirement, says James McAmey, IPPFA president. Anyway, I got this. I'm going to respond to Dan. I'm going to try to get him one of our webinars so he can talk more about what he has to offer. If you like this, what do you call it? This email, just send me an email and I'll send it out to you. M. Kiner, Kiner, at mypremierplan.com. Also, I want to remind everybody our first in-person class this year is Cleveland on April 30th. So we'd love to see you there. I understand it's definitely a vacation hotspot. Okay, I will go now to Anna. Hi, Anna.
Good morning. I don't have any questions. I am here just to learn and listen from everybody and the great advice and get my ZE credits.
Thank you, Anna. Appreciate it.
So thank you.
Kate, you're next.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Hi, Happy New Year. Good morning to you.
I'm good. I don't have any questions, but I am getting ready to take the test. So I'm thinking maybe Friday or Monday.
Okay. Now, don't forget, test now is based on 2024 COLA adjusted figures.
Okay.
And also go through those practice questions that I sent to you.
Mhm.
The
Thank you.
test is fair but challenging. I hear that from everybody. I do.
Okay, great. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm a little nervous with this one because there's just so much information, but
Yeah.
I'll get it done.
Don't be nervous, Kate. But we don't round up. We do round down your scores. Just like Social Security, they always round down, just like us. Okay, Kate.
Thank you.
Thanks. Let's go to Christopher. We've been to you already, right? Yeah. Let's go to Luke. Anything you want to say, Luke? There you go.
Hey Mark, nothing Social Security related, but whoever mentioned CE, I just had a question on that, and
Okay.
if there was a formal logging process for that. I had
There
just passed
is.
the test in November, so I was just curious.
I will send you the first of all, everybody's on the honor system. We don't track CE. A few months before your renewal date, I'll send you an email to remind you of the renewal. Also, I'll send you a CE form that you need to complete to track your CE. If you want that CE form beforehand, Luke, just send me an email. I'll send it to you. So
Okay,
let me
that sounds-
let me remind everybody what counts. These open forums count for 1 hour. Our update webinars count for 1 hour. You could teach workshops, Social Security workshops, and get 2 hours every renewal cycle. And you can re-attend a class for $500. You get all 8 hours at one time in that situation. So nothing else counts. So don't send me an email saying you've taken this outside class. Don't send me an email saying you studied for the CFP exam. It just doesn't count. Okay. But I didn't mean to say that was you, Luke. I was meant to say that was everybody else out there in NSSA
Yep.
land.
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Okay, Luke, thank you. Hi, Ray.
Happy New Year.
Yep. Thanks. Same to you.
I don't have any questions today.
You're going to yield your time to another NSSA member,
Absolutely.
just like in Congress. Okay. Let's go to John. Hi, John.
Hi, I'm not sure how many Johns are there, but I don't
It's
have
you
any.
though.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good morning, all. Thank you. I just want to just attend. Thank you. No questions.
Thanks, John. Susan did make a comment that there are issues with ProctorU. It's not the best online Proctor experience. I do know that. It's tough. But we're not going to send you to a Proctor company because Jim and I have to make like $100,000 financial obligation if we did that. So we just have to deal with what's out there, and we just picked ProctorU. But Susan, you're right. It could take time. I get complaints about ProctorU all the time, but there's really nothing else I can do. If you folks know of another Proctor company, let me know and I'll investigate it. But I would say 75% of the people who take our assessment through ProctorU is okay with it. Nobody's happy, but they're okay with it. Okay. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate your comments. And sorry you had to wait an hour or so. Okay. Okay. Christopher, Luke, Ray, John, Gary. I don't think we did you, Gary.
Good morning, and love the information. Always happy to hear from you guys. No questions right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Terry. Hello, Terry.
Good morning. Hey, I attended your class on the 18th and I thought it was awesome. And I too was drinking from the fire hose. And the questions that I'm having trouble with right now are the areas, the WEP and GPO. If you could just give me a little bit of oversight on that to help my understanding.
I'll let Jim take over on that one. Even though I could do it, but I need Jim to say something.
Hey, we were fine. So WEP is windfall. That's for folks who also have their 40 credits and they're eligible for retirement, Social Security benefits. It's going to change how the benefits computed. Ben point number 1 is adjusted and based on the number of substantial Social Security covered earnings you have, it can be as low as 40%. So if you have 30 years or more substantial earnings, windfall doesn't apply, but if you have less, it will. Don't forget the fact sheet, WEP fact sheet. I don't recall the publication number, but if you Google WEP fact sheet, it'll give you a link to that. It's a pretty good explanation of it, but it applies to your retirement benefit. It will never completely eliminate your Social Security benefit. It just lowers it. It won't lower it any more than half of your pension. That doesn't apply to most people. Most people's pensions are high enough where there's the fact sheet. Most people's pensions are high enough that that guarantee doesn't apply, but it can. And so you want to keep that in mind. It also doesn't apply until you retire and start to receive your pension. Government pension offset or grumpy partner offset, that applies to spouses, ex-spouses, and survivor benefits. And what they do is they take 2/3 of your pension and subtract it from your benefit. So first thing Social Security does, they figure out what you're going to be eligible for, which may include a reduction for age. So, a spousal benefit at full retirement age of $1,000 would be $700 or $650 if your full retirement age is 67. Then they apply the 2/3 offset, and that oftentimes will completely wipe out the Social Security benefit. So windfall's your own, GPO is benefits from somebody else's record. You can see there's a fact sheet for that that does a pretty good explanation as well. Does that help, or did you have any specific questions? Or
no, Jim, that helped tremendously. It really did. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
and you know, ask as you go along. If people ask you questions and you're not sure, send us an email, and we'll definitely get back with you.
I did notice that the 2024 web fact sheet is now available, and it does have the 2024 substantial earnings figure of $31,275. Okay, that was, I forgot who it was, but I think we're at Debbie Minor. Hi, Debbie.
Good morning. I also don't have, well, I didn't have any questions, but now since we're talking about the government offset, someone was told by the Social Security office that her husband is receiving Social Security. She retired from the state teachers. And she was told that if she wouldn't have started her pension, that she would have gotten the full spousal benefits from Social Security. And if she would have held off, she would have gotten, hers wouldn't have been reduced. And I was not sure if that was the case or not.
Well, technically it is based, unless it's a unique payment, but if it's just, you don't take your pension, you don't suffer the offset, but in the long run, that's not to anybody's advantage. You know, you may lose the offset, it's 2/3 of your pension, but you still have more money, overall when you take the pension. So that it would be kind of dumb, in my opinion, to do that. Now, there are what we call unique payments where maybe you're not pulling anything out, because people will take their pension and instead of opting for a monthly benefit, they'll roll it over into an IRA or 401k, something like that. And in that situation, you've got control onto when you pull money out, how much you pull out, that type of thing. In those situations, as soon as you're eligible, so as soon as you retire, then government pension offset or WEP will apply with those unique payments. But if it's just that you're eligible for a monthly pension and you're going to put it off, technically that's right, but it's just not in my opinion, a wise thing to do.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Debbie. Let's go to Andrew. There you go.
Good morning. I don't have any specific questions today, just listening in for.
Thanks, Andrew. Let's go to Ethan. Hello, Ethan.
Hey guys, yeah, so I do have one question. We have a client who just turned 62. She's a widower of her husband who is would have turned 62 in May. So at what point can we turn on her surviving spouse benefits?
She could file now because she's past age 60. It's going to be reduced for age. If she has her own work history, you'll want to look at, is it better to take the survivor benefit now and her own later, full retirement age, or even wait till 70? Or should she take her own now if it's lower and then take the higher survivor benefit at full retirement age, and then it wouldn't be reduced for age? So you'd want to look at her own benefit in connection with that. But she's old enough where she is eligible for the benefit.
Okay, so then that's what we're waiting on from her right now. If she's contacting Social Security to get a statement of Randy's benefit so that we know what that amount is. But I think I'm sure it's less than what hers is, because she actually was a Canadian citizen for a while, or for growing up. So he worked in Canada until they were married. So he doesn't have the longest work history, but okay, so that's good to know. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Ethan. Let's go to Joyce. Hello, Joyce.
Good morning. Happy New Year, all. And I do want to express my appreciation for all the times that you came to my rescue in 2023, and I look forward to you throwing the lifeline out again in 2024.
Pleasure. What rescue did we come to? I mean, I can't swim. I don't think Jim can either. So.
Yeah, I can swim.
Oh, you can? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there are just there are a few times that someone I was working with jumped the gun with Social Security, and I sent the questions out to you all and had prompt answers and was able to help them out. And the one that was in particular was someone who activated Social Security at age 65 and then found out that he could have applied for disability. I threw that question out to you, and he did apply for disability and did get his disability benefit. So that helped them out on a budget wise. So I do appreciate all of that help. And then unbeknownst to you, this past Saturday, I did my FRA, Federal Retirement Advisor examination, and from what I studied through this program, helped me out tremendously in that test, because none of the information on Social Security was in the FRA documents.
Joyce, talk about the FRA certificate or whatever, please, so others know about it.
Okay, the FRA is Federal Retirement Advisors, and basically what you're learning there is a lot of what you learn with Mark and Jim on the Social Security side of it, and the WEP and the Grumpy Partner offset, and that will, I saw.
Is this it?
Term, I saw the specific term, and my mind still reads Grumpy Partner offset.
Yeah.
It's just that's an easy way to do it. But yeah, it's a lot of information. It helps you to understand the federal programs for people retiring, because there's people that are still in CSRS and people that are in FERS, and then there's CSRS offset and all kinds of fun stuff like that.
Right.
But it does help you with people when they retire and they have a TSP, thrift savings plan. There is a lot of people are retiring with a ton of money and they don't know what to do, and their employer cannot tell them what to do. So from an advisory standpoint, you can make suggestions to help their retirement years. And I know you all, Mark and Jim, are in holding hands with Tom Hegna. And, you get into the paychecks and playchecks and how they can roll over their TSP money. And it gets into who is eligible to receive benefits if somebody goes on disability. It's long and arduous, but worth the investment in your career.
Now, there's also another organization that does a lot with federal employees called ProFeds, based out of Chicago, Illinois, ProFeds. What's the website of the organization you're talking about, Joyce?
I went through Megastars, and they're out of Georgia.
Okay, Megastars. Okay, folks. So if you want to look for it, go for it.
I can second what you just said, Mark Kleiner. Chris Kowalik with ProFeds is phenomenal.
Okay, thanks, Christopher. Appreciate it. Joyce, anything else you'd like to say?
No, just thank you, and I'm looking forward to working with you in 2024 as well.
Great, thank you. Let's go to Aaliyah. Hi, Aaliyah. Are you there? If not, we will go to our Pittsburgh Steelers fan, Teresa. Hi, Teresa.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Thanks. Same to you. Now,
just listening today. Thank you.
Right. Did the Steelers win last weekend?
They won on Sunday. Yes.
Who did they beat?
Seattle
Seattle.
Seahawks.
Seattle, and are they in the playoffs or do they have a shot?
We're one of those wait and see.
Okay. Jim, are the Bengals, do they have a shot or are they just kind of gone for the year?
They're out.
They're out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, so there are only 7 teams in the NFL that have made the playoffs 2 out of the last 4 years. And one of them is the Cleveland Browns. So I'm excited about that. Alea says her computer won't mute. So, but no questions. Okay, great. Okay. Jim, please pick 2 numbers from 1 to 20, please.
4 and 11.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Rudy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and Luke. So Rudy and Luke, please send me an email saying that you won the $50 Amazon gift card, and my son will send you that electronically. If you don't send me an email, I probably won't remember. So please, I kind of operate by emails, right, Jim?
That is true.
Okay, folks. Anything else on your minds? Now, Jim, you've been answering lots of. Oh, Alea, seems like you've unmuted yourself. Anything you want to say?
Of course, now it works.
Yes.
No, I'm good. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. So, Jim, you've been answering lots of questions lately. I know you were a little behind. I definitely get that. Are there any questions that you think might be noteworthy for advisors?
Seem to have a lot of questions on windfall and government pension offsets, so we kind of covered that, I think. And as you mentioned, the new web fact sheet's out, so you'll want to go ahead and maybe download that. What I do is I just keep a copy on my computer, and then when somebody needs it, I print it up. I think those are the big ones that we had. I did have an interesting one that I'm not sure of. We had a situation where a stepchild was receiving on the step parent's work record, and now the parents are separated. And he wanted to know if the child benefits would continue. And all I could find is if the parents got divorced, the benefits would stop. But I didn't see anything about separation, so I have to do a little bit more research for him. But that one was a good one. I hadn't run into that one before. So, the child was receiving, because the step parent was providing more than half of the child support. Now they're separated, and they're not providing any. He's not providing any support. So we'll have to see how that one goes.
Jim, let's talk a bit about the child and care benefit. I know there's definitely confusion out there relating to who's eligible for it. So if somebody's taking care of a minor child under the age of 16 or a disabled adult child, disabled before turning age 22, and their spouse is either deceased or receiving a retirement or a disability benefit, then a child and care benefit is payable to the spouse. It could be living. It would either be living spouse or it would be a surviving spouse. And Jim, what percentage of benefits does the child and care parent receive?
Well, in the life case, it's 50%, and the death case, it's 75%. Of course, family maximum will apply. So if there's 3 or more people receiving, then family max will lower that. But the original benefit, 50% and 75%. One thing to keep in mind, just because a child is disabled, even if it's before age 22, doesn't automatically kick in the child and care benefit, because in a disability case, it's the child has to be what you would refer to as severely disabled, basically where they need 24/7 care. They can't dress themselves, bathe themselves, that type of thing. So, it's not automatic because the child's disabled, but it's still something folks should look into. I always tell people, let Social Security make the decision. Just don't assume you're not eligible. Make them tell you. Because worst case scenario, you spend a little bit of time and they said you're not eligible, but you might find out that you were.
Jim, how do you apply for the child and care benefit?
Well, it's an application you would have to do through the Social Security office. It's not available online, but it's just an it's just an application for benefits. That you call the 800 number, make an appointment, or if your local office accepts walk-ins, you could do a walk-in. But personally, I'd make the appointment.
Got it. And so if you're taking care of a child under the age of 16, then when that child reaches age 16, the child in care benefit goes away. And then you have to wait until you turn age 60 if you're collecting as a surviving spouse, or age 62 if you're trying to collect off of a living spouse. Jim?
And don't forget the child's benefit will continue till they're 18.
Yeah.
Because we get that a lot. I thought the child will draw till 18. Child does. It's just the child and care benefits.
That was a situation that I had as a tax preparer. I had a young family, husband and wife, 2 young kids. Husband had a heart condition. He was playing hockey. He dies on the ice rink. The 2 young kids were eligible for a benefit off of his work record. The mom would have been eligible she was eligible for a child and care benefit. However, like Jim indicated, the family maximum was going to be an issue. So if she was going to receive the child and care benefit, then that would reduce the benefits to the 2 kids. And of course, so she did not do that. Jim, how many times do you work with the child and care benefit?
Not real often. We don't get many couples that have children that are eligible. I say that I'm working one right now that does, but and the child and care benefit will be effective with that one because the child's only 11. They adopted this child, and originally they didn't even mention the child, and it just kind of came up in our conversation during our consultation. So I'm going to rework everything for them, and we'll have a new consultation. But it doesn't happen real often because most folks, their kids are grown.
Jim, let's talk about spousal benefits. On a percentage basis, how many times do you meet with a married couple whereby the younger spouse can receive a spousal boost?
It's becoming less and less over time, maybe 25%. It could even be a little less than that now. Most people now, most households are 2-income households. And even if you have a situation where one stayed home with the kids for a while, if they've worked at all, doesn't take a whole lot of work for them to get up past half of the higher earners PIA. So we're not seeing a ton.
Are you folks seeing the same thing Jim is saying, about 25% if you're married couples will have a spousal benefit boost payable to the lower earning spouse? Are you seeing that still? Are you seeing less or maybe more? Just kind of thoughts. I would think, Jim, 25% is probably kind of accurate, and that's because lower earning spouses their incomes are higher. And also number 2, like Jim said, kind of the bend point situation. Lower earning spouses will receive all of bend point 1 at 90%, probably part of bend point 2, which is 32%, whereby the higher earning spouse will also be in the third bend point, 15%. Now, some advisors don't understand the difference between just collecting a spousal benefit or being eligible for the spousal benefit boost. The spousal benefit boost only comes into play if the husband and wife are both eligible for their own Social Security benefits. So the wife is eligible for her own, then we look at the spouse's PIAs to determine if she's eligible for the boost off of the husband's work record. If the wife is not eligible for any benefits off her own work record, then she'll just collect a spousal benefit off of her spouse. No boost in that situation, just collecting a spousal benefit. Jim, I've received that question a couple times over the past couple weeks. Do you receive that question also?
I get that question fairly often. And interestingly enough, I saw I was on I think it was Internet Explorer or something, and they always had this stuff. And a lot of times it's about Social Security. And I click on it to see. And they had these 5 things that people need to know. And they were talking about spousal benefits. And it wasn't clear at all. In fact, and I reread it a couple times just to make sure, it almost gave the indication that you could go ahead and draw your spousal benefit, even though you're eligible on your own, and take your own later. They didn't specifically say it, but they kind of insinuated it. And I was thinking, yeah, this isn't right. But I mean, technically, they could say, no, we didn't say that, so we weren't wrong. But they led people to that conclusion in their article. So you got to be careful what you read out there on the internet.
I don't want any of you or anybody out there in NSSA line to send us an email asking us if a spouse can collect off their spouse while their own benefit increases and they delay until age 70. Don't want anyone to say that. Ask us that question. In theory, you can still ask us that question if somebody's born by 1/1/54, but they're going to be receiving their benefits anyways. So don't ask us if somebody can collect off their spouse and wait to draw their own benefit at age 70. Right, Jim?
That's right.
Unless you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, then we'll accept that from you. So, Teresa, you can ask if you want to. I know you won't. Okay. Jim, so if my wife is looking to collect off my work record, I'm at my full retirement age, I decide I want to wait to age 70. Can she draw off of me at that point when I'm at full retirement age and she's at her age 62?
Okay. I wasn't listening because I was plugging my computer and I was about to go dead.
So
repeat your question.
So I'm at my full retirement age. I want to wait to age 70. My wife is 62. Can she collect off my work record even though I'm not collecting?
She can not.
Oh,
yeah, she can't collect until you collect. So if you wait till 70, she has to wait till you're 70.
So if I wait, so if I wait till age 70, that will delay a spousal benefit to my spouse. Of course, though, that could be like age 60 and collecting a disability benefit. As long as she's at least age 62, she can go ahead and collect off my work record while I'm waiting till age, while I'm collecting a disability benefit. Is that right, Jim?
That's right.
Let's talk about online statements. Anything new there, Jim, on the application process?
Not that I've seen. They had the big change where they went from 4 pages to 2, but I think everybody's pretty much at 2 pages now. So as far as I know, there's no changes coming down the pike.
And of course, you all know that on the 2-page statement, Social Security will show the estimated benefits from between ages 62 all the way up to age 70. And of course, they will base those estimates on earnings in the previous year. So if your previous year showed earnings of $50,000, Social Security will assume $50,000 in wages or earned income all the way up through age 70. Now, if the previous year showed 0 earnings, Social Security will look at earnings 2 years ago. And if that year also shows 0 earnings, then Social Security will assume no earnings all the way up through age 70. Also, of course, on page 2, like Jim indicated, well, I don't think you really indicated it, they will show you your earnings history, but early years will be grouped in 10-year intervals. 1971 to 1980, 1981 to 1990, 1991 maybe to the year 2000. Jim, if you're subject to WEP, you will want to look at your earnings for every year to see if you have any years of substantial earnings. Jim, how does somebody look at their earnings each year?
Yeah, it's as long as you have the online account, it's easy enough to do on the home page. Currently, it's down at the bottom of the page. It talks about the earnings statement. the earnings statement will list each year individually, so you can get that if you need it.
Yeah. So I always have to ask for that. And of course, folks, I always get the wrong document. They always send me their Social Security benefit statement, even though I asked for something different. So I always have to make it clear this is a separate document from your benefit statement. I even send them an email with instructions on how to obtain it. Jim, do you find folks don't really know how to obtain that earnings history?
Yeah, they all tend to lean towards the benefit statement. So we have to guide them in that. Sometimes I just go ahead and ask them for both, particularly if I don't have any other information, because the earnings statement doesn't show your date of birth. So where the benefit statement will.
True. Good point. And you always want that. There's no doubt about it. Jim, how much in earned income do you need to obtain one credit for 2024?
I do not know. I don't have my cheat sheet in front of me.
I think it's 1730. That sound right?
Sounds about right.
Let me pull it up. 20 call a fact sheet. Let's see. I think it's 1730. It is 1730. Last year was 1640. So for every 1,730 that you earn, you get one credit. So if you earn like $7,000 for the year, you'll get 4 credits. You need to know that, because if you're meeting with husband and wife, turns out maybe the husband only has 36 credits. All he needs to do is work, make $7,000, and he'd be eligible for his own Social Security benefit, which may allow his wife to wait until her full retirement age or as late as age 70 to claim off of her own work record. So 1730, if you're missing 8 credits, then you earn $7,000 in 2024, another $7,000 in 2025. And just to remind you, after you earn your $7,000, you don't have to work another day the rest of the year. So if you're able to earn $7,000 in January because maybe it's a closely held business, well, you don't have to work anymore the rest of the year, and you'll still get your 4 credits. But Jim, you don't get your 4 credits all at one time, do you?
No, you get them when the quarter gets here. And so if somebody needs 4 quarters to be eligible and you earn all that money in January, you still won't get that 4th credit till October 1st, and you wouldn't be able to apply for your benefits till October.
We have 3 minutes to go. I want to go to Eli. Eli used to work for SSA, or do you still work for SSA?
No, I stopped working at SSA when I started with my new company. So
Okay.
yeah.
Have you heard anything about offices, representatives, anything along those lines at SSA that might affect people?
Yeah, last time I talked to someone within the office, they basically said that because of the turnover, I think I mentioned this before, they hired, I think they started hiring and backfilling all the people they lost a little late. And anybody that's familiar with it, it's like a lot of places. It's a good 2 to 3 years of training before you really get up to speed with the information. So that's why I think like the call centers, the main call center with the main 800 number, there's longer wait times. If you contact the local office, there's longer wait times. They're pushing people to file online more because it's harder to get an appointment. But I think that's probably by late this year, that's going to start to catch up because people are coming out of training now. They're up to speed. But I think it was just Social Security lost a whole bunch of people. It takes, you can't just plug and play. So it takes a few years to catch up. So probably late this year, I think you're going to start seeing some improvement in customer service. But that's why it's good for representatives, if you're working with clients, to help them with follow-up and things, because sometimes there is the possibility they're not going to get the correct information. There's a possibility they're going to be on long wait time. So,
okay, Eli, thank you. Appreciate your comments. Folks, I think it's 10 o'clock Eastern time. We will end today's Social Security Open Forum. I tend to believe our next one starts at maybe 2 o'clock Eastern time. Don't quote me, but it's on all the emails I've sent. Okay, folks, thank you so much. Talk to you later. Bye.
Goodbye.